Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today we are going to talk about some books that I bought in the month of October. I got a good little stack here, so I did a little damage in October. Got me a glass of my favorite cab. And let's talk about books. Before we get started though, let's talk about book of the month. I am sad to report that I have skipped the month of November. I've never skipped book of the month, but there was just nothing that was coming out at me that was like, you have to get this book, you have to have this book. So I decided to go ahead and just save my credit for next month. So next month I will not get charged for book of the month. I didn't know if y'all knew how that worked. So since I didn't purchase, or since I didn't order any book of the months for November, in December I just won't get charged, and my one credit will roll over to December. So that's how that works. I didn't know how that worked. I didn't know if like maybe your credits started stacking up if you kept skipping, or you know, and that they kept charging your account, but they don't. So if you skip a month, it just goes towards your next month, and you won't get charged for that next month. So in case you were wondering about that. But I did pick some books. There's a line over here. I'll try to stay out of it, but I did pick some books for the month of October, which I was actually hoping to get to in October, but it was just one of those months. But that's okay. Maybe we'll save it for next year, or maybe we'll just save it for a rainy day when I'm feeling in the mood. But I actually picked up the romance. This is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I just thought it sounded super cute. I haven't like read like a male-female romance in a really long time, and I thought this would be really fun. It says this book casts a spell with a spine-tingling romance full of wishes, witches, and hexes gone wrong. Never mix vodka and witchcraft. I think this has to do with an ex-boyfriend that she may have put a hex on, and she doesn't know how to undo it. I'm not really sure. I didn't really read much into the synopsis because we're gonna go into it not really knowing too much about it, but I just thought it was cute, and I loved the cover. And then I also got Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart. Once again, beautiful, creepy cover. Great for October. One night changed everything. Juniper Baker was 19 when her world was torn apart. As fireworks lit up the summer sky, her neighbors were brutally murdered right outside their barn. And to Juniper's horror, her younger brother became the prime suspect. In an instant, everything she loved fell away. She escaped, pledging never to return. That's all we're gonna read. That's just like the first little paragraph, but sounds really, really good. Loving the cover. It's going on my shelf. Hopefully we'll get to it soon, but you know, we all know how that goes. If you are interested in book of the month, my link will be down below if you want to join for yourself. I think your first month is like $9.99, and then after that it's a little over $16 a month. But any additional book is only $9.99, and you get, even for $16, $17, getting a hardback cover book is a really good deal. And then any additional beautiful hardback book of the month cover for $9.99 is available to you. I just think it's just a great deal to get great books at a great price. So anyway, if you're interested, my link will be down below. Alright, I do have a few books here that I have already read in the month of October. Well, no, not all of them. One of them I have not read, and that's Goosebumps book, Welcome to Camp Nightmare by R.L. Stine. I actually got this book for Camp Weekend Ween, but I never got to it. So this was supposed to be green on the cover, but that's okay. I still read a book for the weekend, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, so I'll have this on my shelf for when I'm feeling a good, you know, middle-aged fun, maybe. The food isn't great, the counselors are a little strange, and the camp director seems sort of demented. Okay, so Billy can handle all of that, but then his fellow campers start to disappear. What's going on? Why won't his parents answer his letters? What's lurking out there after dark? Camp Night Moon is turning into Camp Nightmare. Something strange is happening and Billy's in the middle of it. Sounds super cute, so we're going to put that on our shelf and pick it up one day. The rest of these books I have read for the month of October. The other Camp Weekend Ween book I picked up was Camp Cornage. This is by Elliot Arthur Cross and Joshua Winning. I ordered both these books from Amazon, by the way. No, I didn't. I got them from Barnes & Noble. I ordered them from Barnes & Noble because they weren't available in store. But anyway, this was really, really good. This is set in the summer of 1986. We're following a good bunch of characters. We're following Billy and his friends. Their parents have sent them to this conversion camp to straighten them out. Billy and his friends are gay. So they go to this camp, Genesis, I think is what it's called, and his friends start disappearing one by one. And there's suspicious someone out there lurking around. Could it be a killer? Who knows? It was really fun. I had a good time with it. Just to give you a little blurb on the back, it says, in the summer of 1986, Billy Collins is sent to his own personal hell. Summer camp. The remote Camp Genesis offers desperate parents a place to straighten out their gay teenagers with the help of camp counselor Catherine Creevy. There's also a little background story about the camp. It's like reopening about like 3 years ago. 2 teens got murdered and they are just opening the camp back up. But now teens are starting to go missing. So is history repeating itself? It was really cute. Like I said, I had a really good time with it. I think I gave it 4 stars on my Goodreads, but I think this is going to be a 5-star for me. And then per so many of y'all request, I picked up Captive Prince, book 1 of the Captive Prince trilogy. I got this at my Barnes & Noble. They actually had the whole trilogy there, but I didn't know if I was going to like it, so I just picked up the first one. And you already know this, but I love it. So we're mostly getting Damon's point of view from here. Prince Damon, he is a warrior hero to his people and the rightful heir to the throne of Achelos. But when his half-brother seizes power, Damon is captured, stripped of his identity, and sent to serve the prince of an enemy nation as a pleasure slave. So this is a male kind of historical, I guess, romance. So his new master is Prince Laurent. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but that's how I like to say it. So yeah, nothing really happens between the two of them in this book. They're just kind of, I think their relationship is growing. They pretty much hate each other in the very beginning. I don't think Laurent realizes who Prince Damon is. Well, he doesn't realize who he is. He knows Prince Damon's name, but he doesn't realize that that's who his slave or his servant is or whatever. It was really, really good. I didn't know if I was, since it's kind of historical, I didn't know if I was going to really like it, but I just really liked the chemistry between Damon and Laurent, and just like the whole setting and the whole story behind it was very intriguing, and it does leave a cliffhanger. So I'm definitely going to pick up the second and the third book for this one. I picked up Chasing the Boogeyman. This is by Richard Shizmar. This is fiction, of course, but is written and told as a non-fiction story. I fell in love with the cover. I loved it. I thought it was creepy and spooky, and I thought it would be a great addition to my October TBR. But again, as you already know, this kind of fell short for me. I actually did not finish it. I DNF'd it just because I just really didn't care anymore. We're actually getting the story from Richard Shizmore himself. In the book, he is a journalist and also an aspiring horror writer. So we get a lot of like his background story. Like I said, it's written as a nonfiction book. I'm not a big nonfiction fan, so this really didn't do it for me. I may pick it up in the future since I really don't have that much left to go. I was listening to this on audio, but I really wasn't caring for the audio either, so I don't know if it was a, you know, the story compared with the audio just wasn't doing it for me. So we'll see in the future if I pick this up again. But anyway, we have like I said, Richard himself is telling us his story of, I believe it's in the 80s, I don't remember, yeah, summer of 1988, when these girls, young women, started getting murdered. So he's basically just telling us all about the crimes and that they haven't caught the boogeyman yet. So yeah, that's all I got out of it. I don't know. And then I bought The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. I want to say Katarina, but it's Catriona Ward. This, I actually have read this already, as you know. I gave this 3 stars. This was interesting, very different, but I appreciated the ending. So I was originally thinking like 2 stars because I just really wasn't into it, and I was just kind of like, where is this going? Where are we going with this? It was just really, really weird. We follow like 3 different characters. We follow Ted, who is kind of our main character. He lives alone in this abandoned house, it seems like, and with his daughter and his cat. We get the point of view from the cat as well. Her name is Olivia, and Lauren is his daughter. So we're getting points of views of all these characters. And then another character comes in called Dee, who is looking for her missing sister. Her sister went missing as a child years ago, and she is suspecting that Ted has kidnapped her. So yeah, so that's kind of the premise of the story. And then, but when we get to the end, it's just like, oh. But then, but then I was still just kind of confused at where one of the characters kind of fits in. I don't know. It was interesting, different. I was intrigued. I think that's what kept me going. I did listen to this on audio. The audio is very good, so if you want to go that route with it. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. The rest are all male romances that one I actually picked up in my Barnes & Nobles, and the other 3 I ordered from Barnes & Nobles because they're not available in the store. They don't have a lot of male romances available in store. And I've really been trying to collect more of even the past books that I have read and enjoyed because I want them on my shelf. But anyway, in store, I picked up Cat Sebastian's It Takes Two to Tumble. This is part of her, I think it's a series, but I have read another one in the series. I believe it was the first one. Yeah, the Soldier Scoundrel was the first one. And then, but this one just kind of intrigued me. I really liked the cover. I thought the 2 guys were kind of cute. And I kind of scanned over the blurb in the back, and I thought it sounded good. So I'm skipping over a couple of them. Hopefully, I think you can definitely read these all as standalones, but I guess I'll find out. I don't know. But this one looks like we'll be following Ben and Philip. Looks like Philip is some sort of captain. At the very end, it says, in the midst of runaway children, a plot to blackmail Ben's family, and torturous nights of pleasure, Ben and Philip must decide if a safe life is worth losing, the one thing that makes them come alive. So, a little historical male romance thrown in the mix there. And then I picked up Lauren Blakely's the rest of the Men of Summer series. So this is book 2. This is Winning with Him. So I'm guessing we're just going to pick up where we left off from Scoring with Him, which does kind of leave us with a cliffhanger. But I fell in love with that story, so I can't wait to continue Declan and Grant's story. It says, resisting the shortstop has never been my strong suit. So this is a sports male romance baseball one. I failed at it during my first spring training. It sure as hell looks like I'm about to fail at it again. The sport I love playing with my very soul hangs in the balance, but everything my heart craves lies with a guy I've got to resist. A guy who's asking me to make the toughest choice ever. But how do I become the man I want to be, with him or without him? Trouble is, I can't seem to get Declan out of my head, even if I stand to lose everything I've worked for my entire life. So this is part 2. And then we have All In with Him is book 3. This one says, once upon a time, all I needed was baseball, friends, and extracurricular activities. Then everything changed when Declan Steele stormed into my life and upended all my priorities with his heart, his love, his passion. So my next 5-year plan will include this new ground rule, love big. Only that's easier said than done when my man and I come face to face with hard truths and new troubles about what it means to be all in. That's when I learned that finding love isn't the hardest part. Keeping it is what's hard. So, book 2 and book 3. Super excited. Like I said, Scoring with Him was amazing. Absolutely been falling in love with Lauren Blakely's male romances. I think she's coming out with a new series at the beginning of the year of 2022. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't really know what the title's going to be. I think it has something to do with maybe The Best Man might be one of the titles. I don't know, but I'm here for it. And then she also came out with another male romance. I think this is a standalone. It's called The Bromance Zone. A little bit more of a shorter book. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Friends don't bang friends. I want my friends to stay in my life, especially that flirty, clever, outgoing best friend of mine. It's a damn good thing Owen and I made a pact in college to never ever sleep together, or else I'd be tempted. Trouble is, 8 years later, I've been wondering what his kisses taste like, and I've been curious if our chemistry would extend into the bedroom, if he might feel the same risky pull. But I don't want to lose Owen, and history says there's no way a tryst between friends can end well. So as long as I avoid the bedroom with him, I won't break that hard as steel rule. Except the snow has other plans. Oh, I wonder if they get snowed in together. That would be fun. So yes, like I said, really been enjoying Lauren Blakely's male romances. I hope she continues to write those, because I will continue to buy them. So there we have it. All my purchases in the month of October. Let me know in the comments what y'all have picked up for the month of October, anything I will be interested in. On Friday, November 12th, I did a podcast with the lovely ladies of Bent Biblios, Ashley and Tegan. I love their podcast. I rave about it all the time. I keep their link in my description box below, so go check them out. The link to the podcast that I was on will be down there for your viewing or listening pleasure. If you're looking for a great book podcast, this is definitely one to check out. They have some really good episodes on there. So yeah, I was so super excited to get to talk to them. It was a really good time, and thank y'all, Ashley and Tegan, if y'all are watching. Thank y'all for having me. Again, I can't express that enough. I had a great time. So cheers to November. Hope everybody out there is doing well, staying safe. Hugs from me all around, y'all, and I will see you very soon in a new video.